key concerns for people all over the world today is, how can I make my money stretch as much as I possibly can? And one of the ways where we can save money is by considering older tech that still works quite fine. Yeah. So today I'm going to share with you how I was able to do just that with my 2012 MacBook Pro 13-inch. If we're meeting for the very first time, hi, my name is Busola. I live in Lagos, Nigeria, and my goal is to help business-minded people achieve their dreams by showing them they can start exactly where they are and grow their business into levels untold. So today we're going to be talking about the mid-2012 MacBook Pro 13-inch. Now, why should you consider the 2012? I mean, it's like 8 years old. That's exactly why we're here, and I'm going to share those tips with you. The very first thing we're going to be looking at is the design. The 2012 MacBook Pro is still a beauty. It's built to be rugged. It's sturdy. The unibody is awesome. Hang on a second. Let me just get mine. I'll show you. And here you have it. This is my reflection there. Hello. So this is she's still beautiful, she's very pretty, and as you can see, it has the latest OS on it, but we'll get around to that in a second. But it's built, it's so beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, ignore the dings. I can always put sleeves on it, you know, and yeah, I've lost some feet, but you see, they're broken over there. But consider that this baby is 8 years old, isn't it? Exactly 8 years old, because this is mid-2020. But the design is still sleek. The design is still relevant. I can still show up in places with my 2012 MacBook Pro, and there you have it. And I do have the latest OS running on it. So that's the very first thing we're going to be talking about, is the design. Now, if you compare this to another product, I'm not going to name names. I don't want to be slapped with a lawsuit or something. But if you consider other devices that were released around about this same time, if you compare the two of them, and I think I do have one of those somewhere in the house. I'll show a clip if I do have it. If you compare that, you would know that that one is actually quite dated, but this one still looks very sleek, very elegant, very relevant even in 2020. Points number 2 and 3, and I'm going to combine the two of them together, is the upgradability and performance. Now, the mid-2012, this one that I have came with 4 gigs of RAM. Something like this. This is actually what a RAM looks like, if you've ever wondered. Now, this is 2 gigs. I swapped one of these out in my laptop with 4 gig RAM. So right now, my laptop has 6 gigs of RAM because there's actually 2 slots in there for the RAM. So I swapped 1 2 gig out for 4 gigs. So right now I have 6 gigs of RAM, and it's working beautifully. I can, you know, edit on iMovie on there. I can use GarageBand for my podcasts. I can, you know, so many things that I can. DaVinci Resolve is on there, and so many things that I can do on it, which is exactly why I got it in the first place, because I considered what my needs were. Now, before we even move forward to, we've talked about the upgradability and a little bit about the performance. It can actually perform quite well, really, if you are able to upgrade it. But here I have to put a slight caveat. Now, if you're going to buy this on eBay, you can get it for around about $250 if you're in the US. If you're in the UK, maybe around 200 pounds, something like that. Here in Nigeria, you can get it for like 120, 130. Man, the autofocus on this thing is killer. If you've not seen my video on how I chose the 250D, which is exactly what I'm using, hashtag not an ad, I paid with my own money. If you've not seen that video, click the card up there. So what was I saying? I got lost. Yes, so here in Nigeria, it's around about 120, 140,000 naira, which is quite reasonable, because if I was going to buy the new 2020 13-inch MacBook Pro, the base model is around $1,300, I think, in the US, if I'm correct. Here in Nigeria, it's going to be something like 550,000 naira, thereabouts. Now, like I normally say, here in Nigeria, I live in Lagos, Nigeria, we really don't have access to credit like you guys in North America, in Europe, in the UK, and other parts of the world. We really don't have access to credit in that manner. So if I'm going to want to buy the latest MacBook Pro, there's nothing wrong in it. If you can afford it, by all means, go ahead, live your best life. No hating over here. But I'm just saying, if I were to purchase that, I'm going to have to come up with all that money up front. That is a huge chunk of change. Ka-ching. So, and I'm not ready to do that now, because I considered what my needs are going to be. I just need a laptop that I can edit on, do my YouTube video edits on, my podcast edits, and some general documenting and all of that. So I really don't need much. I'm not a gamer, I'm not a graphic designer, so I just need sufficient juice, to be able to do what I do, and that's it. Now, before we move on, for a business-minded person, or just generally in life, you should consider what your needs are before you make purchases. Stories are rife about people that see recommendations on the internet, on YouTube, wherever, suggesting that they buy a particular piece of tech where, one, they wouldn't even know how to use it. Two, they don't even need all of the functions on the tech. And then they would have spent a whole lot of money just for nothing. Yeah. So consider what your needs are before you make purchases, especially expensive purchases, considering tech. Now, the fourth thing we're going to look at is the lifespan. Come on, 8 years old, still going strong. Mic drop. What else? What else? It's 8 years old and it's still going strong. Yeah, ignore the missing feet and all of that, but it's still beautiful. It's still beautiful, isn't it? And yeah, and I think it's going to be around for quite a while. It's still going to be relevant for quite a while. I do think the Catalina OS is the last we're going to get on it, but it's fine. Catalina works just fine, and I think I'm okay with that. So now we've talked about the price, we've talked about the design, we've talked about the upgradability, we've talked about the performance, and we've talked about the lifespan. Those are the 5 key reasons why I still will stick to my mid-2012 13-inch MacBook Pro. Yeah, because I think it's quite worth it. It's going to give me all of the things that I need, and I get to save some money and do some other things with my money. Now, if you're getting value out of this video at all, do consider subscribing and also like this video and leave comments down below as to what you would like to see, and then I'll make it happen if I can. Now, I should also include a caveat at this point. If you're going to spend $250 to purchase the mid-2012 MacBook Pro, and you're going to spend a whole lot of money, extra money, to upgrade it, maybe if you're going to spend like 500 or the equivalent of 500 or more thereabouts to upgrade it, that will make a total of about $750, $800. And if you're willing to spend that much more on upgrades, I will urge you to consider going for something newer. Please ignore the reflection in my glasses. If you're going to spend that much money, I would that you opt for a newer model, because at the end of the day, if you're going to want to resell your MacBook that you have upgraded with about $500, you might not necessarily make that value back, because it's not worth much. It's just going to be considered